a message to the community that an attack on any of our students is an attack on all of our students. An attack on anyone worshiping is an attack on everybody worshiping. And an attack on any house of worship is an attack on all houses of worship. We have no place for it in our community, and it's not going to happen on our watch. An assault on one group of students is an assault on all groups of students, regardless of their faith. It would be unacceptable for a Christian that's worshiping to be harassed, intimidated, and threatened. Same thing with the Jewish community or any other community or students of faith or no faith. Our nation was founded on the idea of freedom of religion and to be free from religious persecution. And it's incumbent on us to be able to uphold those values in our country. So as I said, we stand here today as protectors of that right, the right that's enshrined in our Constitution. Protectors of faith, protectors of young people, protectors of people's right to expression. So you're going to hear a little bit later from the students that were impacted, what they endured, and how they dealt with the situation. But let me just also say that this is consistent with a rise of anti-Muslim incidents that are happening, not just here in Tampa, but across the nation. And there's this rising tension. And there are certain groups that have agendas to stoke division and fear and to divide our nation along religious or racial lines. And we're not going to fall for that. So they try to go on social media to try to make it look like there's a rising tide, that Christians are rising up against Muslims and that Muslims are somehow is a threat. These are all fabrications, they're lies, and they are designed to sow those divisions between our society. So as we speak today with one voice, not on our watch. We will protect our
Saludos
students
amigos de
regardless of their background.
TampaHoy.com, mi nombre es José Ángel
So,
Acevedo y estamos
in this
viendo
moment,
en vivo a través de
will not break our
TampaHoy.com
community,
una
and we're really
conferencia de
proud and
prensa
happy
en la
that the
que un
community
grupo
leaders responded in
musulmán
this way.
de la USF, un grupo musulmán de la USF está realizando una conferencia de prensa ya que ellos están exigiendo acción tras un video que mostró interrupción de una oración en el campus de la USF. El grupo de defensa de los musulmanes CAIR, Florida, planifica, está realizando esta conferencia de prensa durante la mañana de hoy para instar a los funcionarios gubernamentales y las fuerzas del orden a condenar la interrupción de la oración contra los estudiantes. Un video grabado con un teléfono celular captó el momento en el que se interrumpió una sesión de oración musulmana en el campus de la Universidad del Sur de Florida. Y el video se puede ver que 3 hombres empezaron a realizar insultos contra estas personas que estaban realizando una oración en el campus universitario. También se estaban burlando de los rituales sagrados musulmanes durante el momento que estas personas fueron grabadas, y también los actos fueron grabados, por lo cual estos videos fueron transmitidos en vivo a través de las redes sociales. Y ahora están las autoridades de la USF, la policía de la Universidad del Sur de Florida está trabajando para identificar a los sospechosos que realizaron dicho en vivo y que estaban realizando dichos actos burlándose de los rituales sagrados musulmanes. Ahora estamos viendo aquí a este grupo de musulmanes de la USF pidiendo acción, y también vemos que están personas de la seguridad de la Universidad del Sur de Florida realizando esta conferencia, brindándoles apoyo a estos estudiantes de la universidad. Vamos a escuchar un poquito sobre lo que dicen los estudiantes involucrados en este incidente en la USF en estos momentos.
They pushed cameras inches from our faces, which you can see from the live streams and the recordings that have gone out. And the morning after, when I watched the videos again, and when I was reached out by families and loved ones, I had to relive the whole. I had to relive the whole thing again. Hearing every voice, every insult, every atrocious claim that they had made against our religion. For what? Something that our Constitution promises us that we have the complete right to do. After the prayer ended, things only got worse. They waited until the prayer ended, and once we were able to look up from our prayer, because the nature of our prayer is such that we can't turn around, we can't move until the prayer is over.
Estamos escuchando aquí a uno de los estudiantes de la Universidad del Sur de Florida en un discurso bastante emotivo en el que está exigiendo y tampoco entiende la razón por la que personas estaban realizando un en vivo mientras su grupo de compañeros de la USF estaban realizando una oración musulmana dentro del campus y varios hombres estaban realizando un en vivo en las redes sociales burlándose de los rituales sagrados musulmanes. Durante esta plática que este joven ha realizado en el día de hoy, ha brindado detalles sobre qué fue lo que vivió el día antes, el día que ocurrieron los hechos, también luego de ver los videos publicados en las redes sociales también. El joven se llenó de emoción ya que se siente frustrado por lo que ha tenido que vivir en los pasados días en la Universidad del Sur de Florida. Estamos en tampahoy.com completamente en vivo viendo esta conferencia de prensa desde la Universidad del Sur de Florida con todos los detalles de este incidente.
What happened that Tuesday morning cannot happen again. And I refuse to let this be a temporary step in one direction that just lasts for 3 weeks while it's a trending topic. And when the headlines go down, so does this movement. I am genuinely afraid. I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. I might look a little different, but I have had a very, very great childhood right here in Tampa, Florida. I grew up with a lot of the people that I'm looking at right now. We have always had the security of being able to practice our faith and the right to practice our faith in peace. I am genuinely terrified for the America that my children might have to grow up in if this doesn't stop today, and it doesn't stop now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
As you can see, it's a very emotional situation. Thank you so much for those words. And I can tell that it's still very traumatizing. None of us would wish to be in that situation. Next up, a student from USF, Melek. She'll introduce herself, and please tell me how to spell your name as well.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Melek Al-Bustami, and I am the president of the Muslim Student Association here at USF. It's spelled MALAKALBUSTAMI. What happened on November 18th was one of the most terrifying moments of our lives. During our prayer, we were surrounded by grown men, twice our age, who taunted us, yelled at us, filmed us, and left us fearing for our safety. There was no security, no staff, no one to step in. We were completely alone. And the fact that they live streamed the assault made it even worse. They wanted an audience while humiliating us. Knowing that hundreds of strangers were watching was deeply violating. It's one thing to see videos online of Muslims being harassed or attacked. It's another thing to live it. To feel that same fear wash over you, knowing how easily it could turn violent. That fear was real. This is a frightening time to be a Muslim in Florida. Simply practicing our faith made us a target. We gathered for something sacred and peaceful, and instead we were met with hate meant to intimidate us and tell us we do not belong. But let me be clear, we do belong here, and we will not let fear define us. Right now, Muslim students are shaken. We are disappointed. When we needed protection, we felt invisible. When we needed leadership, we were met with silence. To the USF administration, stand with us. Show us that we matter. It is your obligation to protect all students equally and ensure our safety on this campus. To everyone else, we will not be silenced. We will not be intimidated. We will not let hate dictate how we live, pray, or gather. We are stronger than the fear that they try to instill. We will continue to stand together, demand justice, and insist on the safety and respect every student deserves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we're going to hear from some of our Christian brothers, pastors, Reverend Tom Scott.
Thank you, and thank all of you for being here this morning. I stand in unity and solidarity with the Muslim students and with the Muslim community against and oppose any violence, any intimidation, any threats to any citizen, any student attending USF. We must not and cannot and should not tolerate this kind of behavior, fear, or intimidation to students who are here legally, who are born here, who have the right to attend USF, and therefore have a right also to practice their faith and their belief. I am a Christian, and nowhere where I read in my Bible where Jesus threatened or intimidated persons who were practicing their faith or their belief. And so I stand today with the leaders in this community, the elected officials, the sheriff, and other clergy here today to say that we will not tolerate, we will not be silent, we will not stand by and allow this kind of behavior happen in the city of Tampa, Florida. And so thank you again for being here.
Thank you. Pastor Elvis, please state your name also and how to spell.
Elvis Piggott, Elvis Piggott. My stand here, most definitely in solidarity. It was 2010, 2011, when I had one of the most wonderful opportunities of a lifetime, and that was to coach high school basketball and middle school basketball across the street at UAF. And these students, Muslim students, it was a Muslim school. They accepted me, they welcomed me, they treated me as their own. They was kind. I've been pastoring 20 years. I was pastoring then. What we saw and what we witnessed live is absolutely unacceptable. When one hurt, we all should hurt. This is just one of those things that we must understand. Standing together does not necessarily mean that you have to believe in the same thing, but you should have common decency to treat everyone with respect, and to just sit and listen to the student that was doing the prayer, how he feel, what happened, how he was treated. Most definitely you cannot be trying to use the Christian faith with that kind of behavior, because I believe Christian faith says, by this I know you are my disciples, for you have love for one another. This is what we practice. This is what we teach. Loving those even when they don't see the way we see, treating them with respect and dignity. So I stand most definitely with great strength behind every Muslim in this community and abroad to make it clear that we love regardless of race, we love regardless of religion, we love regardless of sexual orientation, because at the end of the day, that is the only way we'll see that God, and that's through love. Thank you, and to every one of those students on the USF campus that endured that, my apologies. We stand collectively to say you do matter, and we won't let your name go down.
Thank you so much. County Commissioner Harry Cohen.
Good morning. I want to acknowledge at the outset that what is particularly distinguishing about this incident is that we have all seen the video and the audio footage of what we just heard described. In light of that, let me be perfectly clear. What happened to these peacefully praying Muslim students was appalling. No one in America should be assaulted while exercising their constitutionally protected rights. The menacing behavior exhibited by these thugs is simply intolerable in a decent and law-abiding society. I am gratified that USF and law enforcement appear to be treating this matter seriously, and I support their efforts to hold those responsible to account. Nonetheless, I wanted to specifically add my voice as a county commissioner and as a Jewish American to those who strongly condemn what happened. I want to thank the elected officials, including my colleague, Commissioner Myers, who's here today, for speaking out. It is now 1 week from Thanksgiving. We simply cannot tolerate or have this kind of behavior. It is unacceptable in America, and it is unacceptable in Hillsborough County. We must focus on what brings us together rather than what drives us apart, and we are not going to let this incident stand.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen, for these strong words. Now, for your colleague, County Commissioner Gwen Myers.
Commissioner Gwen Myers, GWEN MYERS. We are one Hillsborough. One Hillsborough means that we support our neighboring. We support the Muslim community. We cannot stand to allow this to happen in our community. Hillsborough County has the excellent, most valuable citizens, and the Muslim community are our citizens. We cannot allow this to happen, and it will not happen again. And this is why we're here today, to stand with them. I was here on the campus on Tuesday talking with Yahya, and I told him, we have to hold a press conference so that message get out to our community what we will not tolerate in Hillsborough County. Everyone has the right. Everyone, every Muslim has the right to pray wherever. No one should be intimidated or bacon thrown at them because they want to pray. It's one God, one nation for all of us, and we cannot be separated. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And now from law enforcement, the Deputy Chief in Hillsborough County, representing Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Mr. Joe Maurer.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Sheriff Chad Chronister, I want to thank the Islamic Society of Tampa Bay, my peers, elected officials that are here today. You know, Sheriff Chronister's #1 priority is to keep this community safe, particularly groups that gather to pray. Prayer is a time for peace, a time of reflection. Sheriff Chad Chronister and the rest of Team HCSO stand behind everybody that worships any choice of God that they choose to for that time of peace. And we will ensure that they are safe in those times of peace. I want to thank the students that had the courage to come up here and relive this traumatic experience. But know this, if you want to gather and you want to pray within Hillsborough County, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office will make it our duty and our mission, which it already does, to keep you safe while you do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And our final speaker is the Reverend Russell Myers. He is the president of the Florida Council of Churches, which represents thousands of churches across the state of Florida. Thank you for being here. Your comments.
I am the Reverend Dr. Russell Meyer, RUSSELLMEYER, Executive Director of the Florida Council of Churches. For nearly 80 years, the Council has promoted goodwill and fairness for all in this state. On behalf of our member churches, which number up to 1 million Floridians across the state, I extend to the Muslim Student Association our profound sympathy and support in speaking unambiguously about their right to worship and practice their beliefs in peace and without disturbance. The recent verbal assault at morning prayer this past Tuesday by 3 so-called Christians is unacceptable and a violation of the constitutional rights of the students. The state attorney's office must identify and prosecute the
Bueno, y amigos de
perpetrators of this
TampaHoy.com,
assault.
estábamos viendo aquí en vivo esta conferencia de prensa de este grupo musulmán y varios líderes de la Bahía de Tampa y Florida que están brindando detalles sobre esta situación en la que varios estudiantes de la Universidad USF estaban realizando una oración y fueron interrumpidos con insultos raciales. También una persona estaba haciendo videos de redes sociales, un en vivo. Y en estos momentos, hace minutos atrás, estuvimos escuchando esos testimonios.